We celebrate you. Kaya,
Bye.
Kaya, would you like to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my biggest takeaway from this class is as someone who's just mostly been in like DIY spaces and um, things like that. I feel like it's given me some solid tools about the language and how to navigate a more institutional setting, which I have always been bummed that it seemed like kind of like evasive to me as somebody with completely alternative education.
Getting honestly, I know it's gonna sound a little cliche, but like getting to know all these stories of other artists in the same struggle. I used to work in a bar, and there was this lady who, every time I asked her how she was doing, she used to sell tamales. She used to tell me, "Aquí en la lucha,"
Mm-hmm.
and always reminded me that we're all fighting. You know, this is the struggle that we all
Yeah.
have.
I think one of the rewarding parts was me asking for that support letter, and I feel like it's nice hearing other people tell you that no, you are a curator. You are you are you are valuable within these spaces. And I think I needed that because I miss going to art receptions. I miss just being around like art people, like face to face. You know, like seeing their legs. It's nice, like seeing people who have like similar stories but completely different at the same time.
Yeah, I think two of the biggest takeaways for me with this particular programming is really just trusting myself and my ability. And also, like I really, really, truly valued what Therese had to offer in all of our sessions. And she has been so instrumental in providing so much guidance and support and providing so much clarity as well. And she does it in a fun way and an encouraging way that made me feel so supported. So I really, 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 truly appreciated that through this program. And then also, every week hearing about all the stories and everyone's work is so inspiring, and it's so enriching as well, of like, oh my goodness, like we have such profound artists amongst us that have been doing such incredible work and so important for the community too. So that to me is just so like heartwarming to be in
Mm.
this space.
So praise and gratitude to Therese um, for being amazing coach, but yeah, Arturo too for leading the session. And I found this so helpful beyond belief. I told everyone at the first session, I literally did not know I was an artist until I got accepted into this. This felt validating, and then actually
Mm.
getting the grant to have this incredible learning. And she's like, yeah, it's like science grant writing. It is an art, it is a science, and it benefits those who know and those who are screening to know how many points you could lose out on compared. And I am so grateful for this space and for everyone here and everyone sharing their art and working. Also, like as I'm writing the grant process, I'm like, oh yeah, my art, I do like my art. I'm very excited that this is just the beginning of Art School Lab.
You get to know, these nuts and bolts and how to overcome these nuts and bolts. And you have inside training with one-on-one session that nobody else knows about. Basically, it's a privilege. Um, um, Otherwise, intrinsically, I just feel, I think all of us through the process um, received from each other and from our mentors a sense of validation that we are, God damn it, we're artists.
And it has been a huge effort of mine as an artist to simply create spaces for other people. And so to be invited here as an artist for my own personal like self-expression, I can take care of myself and that's good for my people. And that in itself has been like a really important shift for me. create spaces and programs and platforms for other people. I've put in a ton of work to do that, but haven't always like really finessed my own work to the capacity that I feel like I could be more generous with my work. And also writing the narrative, which I hate. Don't like to talk about myself, but knowing the journey and finding the themes, there has been so much healing in my journey. And it's so hard for me to talk about what has hurt to inspire that I'm like, I don't want to play the oppression Olympics. I like, that doesn't feel authentic to me, which also speaks to the level of journey that I have arrived at, and it's important as holding space for other people.
Julia, I wanna read something that I wrote during one of our coachings. This is something that you said, and I think that we mentioned it, but the more I express my feelings and experiences through my art, I realize that I am talking about the universal experiences of being a human.
One of the things that I learned from this experience was that I just had always made the assumption that I would never be someone who would qualify or even begin to know what it is to write a grant. In saying that, regardless of getting or not getting the grants, getting together with a group of people that I've never met in person, but that I've shared almost every Saturday for the past few weeks, has given me this like a big validation that our communal bond transcends absolutely anything, whether it's COVID, whether it's being in the same city, and just sharing with you guys, watching everyone go through their grant writing process reminds me that we're all here really to like to support each other, you know, and just knowing that we make art and we're part of these communities and that we are part of our community together, gives us enough strength to cheer each other on. And that to me was such an eye-opening and beautiful experience. And to Therese and Arturo, thank you so much for doing this and finding the space to like champion us, you know, because a lot of the times we don't see that for ourselves. And so having that is such a magical thing. I hope that we all get to work together at some point. You know, if you guys wanted anything to do with graphics, Julia, with your sound, we can do something with graphics and your sound, and you know, Juan Manuel, we can make anything that like, you know, exhibits your beautiful 3D printing, and Shauna with your amazing performances. I would love to get into that and get weird with you, you know, and my beautiful Eli, who I think has left. I would love to document his process as a theater person, and all of you, just in any way that I could help.